Super Meat Boy dropped in 2010, 16 years ago, and it still lives rent-free in the brain of every platformer fan who's ever rage quit and immediately hit retry. Now it's back in 3D, and the question everybody's asking is simple. Does going 3D make it better, or does it break everything that made the original a legend? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Epic Unwrap. And today we are going deep on Super Meat Boy 3D. This thing just dropped March 31st in 2026, day one on Xbox Game Pass, also on PS5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. We're covering the history, the gameplay changes, the 2D versus 3D debate, and what the critics are actually saying. Let's go. Before we even talk about the new game, we have to set the stage. Because the original Super Meat Boy is not just a good game. When that is a game that people are still talking about 16 years later, and for good reason. Built by two guys, Edmund McMillan and Tommy Refense. Over 300 levels, precision controls, brutal difficulty, and a personality unlike anything else at the time. The concept? You are Meat Boy, a little cube of raw meat. Your girlfriend is Bandage Girl. An evil scientist in a tuxedo jar named Dr. Fetus kidnaps her. You run and jump through obstacle courses full of saw blades, fire, and everything that wants to murder you instantly. No health bar. One hit, you're dead, instant respawn, and you keep going until you clear it. That formula was perfect. The 2D controls were so dialed in that every single death felt like your fault, not the game's. That's what made it so addictive. You always felt one run away from clearing it. Then in 2020, we got Super Meat Boy Forever with auto running, and the fan base was split. A lot of people felt it lost what made the original special. So going into Super Meat Boy 3D, the pressure was real. Don't mess this up. Here's where it gets interesting. Super Meat Boy 3D is co-developed by a studio called Sluggerfly, not just Team Meat alone. Tommy Refense reached out to them and challenged them to build a 3D prototype in just 6 months to test if the concept could even work. The early version was actually an open-world collectathon style game, completely different direction, but they scrapped that and went with a linear level structure with a fixed camera, taking inspiration from Super Mario 3D World. And honestly, that call saved the game. It keeps things fast, focused, and true to what Meat Boy is supposed to feel like. And the game was first revealed at the Xbox Games Showcase in June 2025, and now we've got the full thing. Let's talk about what actually changed. The foundation is exactly the same. Run, jump, wall slide, wall jump. One hit kills you. Instant respawn. Get to the end of the level. That DNA is fully intact, and that is a win. But because you're in 3D now, the team had to add new moves to make the movement feel right. You've got horizontal wall running, a mid-air dash that extends your jumps and can break certain platforms, and a ground slam. These were developed in close collaboration with Team Meat to make sure Meat Boy controls just right in 3 dimensions. The camera is fixed, you don't control it. And that is a massive design decision that keeps the game feeling like a classic precision platformer instead of a 3D open world. See, level design stays clear and intentional because of it. Dark World is back. If you know, you know. Harder versions of every level. Also, bandages are collectible in every single level, and unlocking them gets you new characters. And when you finally clear a level, you get the replay of every single failed attempt running alongside your successful run. Still one of the most satisfying things in all of gaming. Watching 100 Meat Boys die while one makes it through never gets old. Big thing that's gone. Auto running, full control of your movement is back. The fans are very happy about that. All right, what are critics actually saying? Because this is where it gets nuanced. The general consensus is that this is a solid, fun game that mostly nails the 2D to 3D transition, but it's not a massive leap forward for the franchise. Most reviews are sitting in that 7 to 8 out of 10 range. Day one gave it an 8.5, calling it white-knuckle fun and exactly the punishing speedrunning platformer you'd expect. DualShockers gave it an 8, saying the precision platforming is exactly what fans love. And yes, you will die thousands of times, but that is the point. The gamer gave it a 4 out of 5 and called it a sequel worthy of standing next to the original masterpiece. Way Too Many Games also gave it an 8, describing the transition as mostly smooth, while admitting the boss fights nearly broke them. Shack News gave it a 7, praising the difficulty and the satisfaction of finally clearing tough levels. For the most common criticisms, depth perception can sometimes work against you in ways that don't feel fair. A few levels miss the mark on design, and some boss fights are forgettable. But even the lower scores still called the core gameplay fun and addictive. Now the real question, is Super Meat Boy 3D better than the 2D original? Okay, honest answer, no. But here's why that's not a bad thing. The original Super Meat Boy is a near-perfect game. The 2D controls were so precise, so clean, that anything compared to it is fighting an uphill battle. In 2D, you can read a level instantly. Every obstacle is on your plane. In 3D, you're adding depth perception and spatial awareness into the mix. And sometimes you'll die because of a depth issue, not a skill issue. In a game built entirely around skill, that stings. Yes, but here's what Super Meat Boy 3D absolutely nails. It respects the original. Full movement control, instant respawn, the replay feature, dark world, boss fights, and genuinely fun new movement options that feel rewarding once you get comfortable with them. This is not Super Meat Boy forever. This isn't a version of the game that throws out the rulebook. This is a careful, respectful translation of what made the original great, rebuilt in 3 dimensions. It doesn't top the 2D game, but it earns its place right next to it. If you love the original, you need to try this. If you've never played Meat Boy before, this is a great entry point. And if you're on Game Pass, there is literally no reason not to download it tonight. That's the full breakdown on Super Meat Boy 3D. Great game, not a revolutionary one, but a worthy new chapter for one of the best platformer franchises ever made. I want to know what you think. Is 3D the right move for Meat Boy? Is the original still untouchable? Drop it in the comments, would love to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe to Epic Unwrapped for more gaming content every week, and I'll catch you in the next one.